Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the man, Donald Trump.
Love. And you know what I love? I'm leading with Tea Party. Big. I love Tea Party. I love the Tea Party.
Where are the children? Get them over here. That's great.
I love children. I love Iowa. I mean, I love you people. I love Iowa. Florida. I love Florida. I love Nashville. I love this country.
I love my kids. Come here, kids.
I love meeting the people.
I love the people. I love people.
I love people.
I love the people of Mexico. I love the Hispanics.
Nobody loves Hispanics like I do.
By the way, I love Mexican people. I love China. I love the people of China. I love, just like in Mexico, I love the people. People said I don't like Mexico. I love Mexico. Whether it's Japan or Mexico or China, I love them.
And now the Asians all hate him. It's true. But the Asians love me. And I love them.
Do they like me in Indonesia?
And I love the New York Times.
With a oh, look! The Art of the Deal. Come here, give me that book. I love that book. Nabisco, Oreos, right? Oreos. I love Oreos. I'll never eat them again. Israel, I love Israel. Oh, by the way. Well, you saw that. You know, I love the Bible.
I love the Bible. I love the Bible.
I love the Bible.
I love the Bible. I love the Bible.
I love the Bible. I love the Bible. I love the Bible.
I love the Bible. I love the Bible.
But I love the Bible. I love the Bible.
I love the Bible. I love the Bible. You hated to leave church, evangelicals. I love the evangelicals.
I love the evangelicals.
I love the evangelicals.
I love the evangelicals. I love them. They love me. They do love me. Why do they love me? You'll have to ask them.
Kanye West, you know what? I'll never say bad about him. You know why? Because he loves Trump. Kanye West, I love him. Now, maybe in a few years I'll have to run against him. I don't know, so I'll take that back.
I love the Bible.
I love the Bible.
I love this country. I love my kids. Come here, kids. I love meeting the people.
I love the people. I love people.
I love people.
I love the Bible.
But I love the Bible.
I love the people of Mexico.
From gut-wrenching Pueblo, Colorado, it's another thrilling episode of Kerry Fox Live.
Now, I've seen Bernie compared to FDR. I've seen Bernie compared to Harry Truman. I've seen Bernie compared to JFK and Jesus Christ as the same person rolled into one.
And I think, you know, look, we're doing well, and if you add Ben and myself, we're beating everybody by a lot. That seems to be the big story, that we're beating, they call it the establishment. It's called really the failed establishment, because the establishment has let us down.
That's right! That's right, teabaggers, conservatives, right-wing Christians. The Republican Party establishment has let you down. All the candidates running in the GOP have also let you down, but not Donald J. Trump. The man who has been leading all along is surging to the top once again. The others are all done. Make no mistake, the Republican nominee for president will be Donald Trump. The only thing that still needs to be decided is who Donald Trump's running mate will be. And guess what? We have a thought or two about that one. Welcome to Kerry Fox Live, a futile attempt to promote truth and common sense in a world gone mad. Just me and my drunken stupor pontificating upon the hypocrisies of our times.
Ben Carson is a complete and total loser.
I'm going to get to that.
Go ahead, let's go. Speak fast. Go ahead.
That's right. That's exactly right. Someone will throw a net over Ben Carson. Donald Trump will be the nominee. I don't think there's any question about that anymore. The establishment candidates are on the ropes. And yes, Marco Rubio is doing better, but Trump is just now starting to work him over. He's just now starting. So Rubio will not last long. Donald Trump and Ben Carson, they have over 50% or about 50% of the voters in the Republican primary. Together, they have that or more. The way that works is when they throw a net over Ben Carson and they cart Ben Carson off to the asylum, the voters that were crazy enough to support Ben Carson will then support Donald Trump. He wins. It'll be Donald versus Hillary. Zip, zip. That's it. Bada bing. Now, we've known this for some time now. No sooner had the Donald entered the race, then he immediately appealed to the people whose support he wanted the most, white and right-wing xenophobes with a tendency toward violence. Ever since then, Donald Trump has exceeded to heights we would never have dreamed possible, unless we were in a short yet horrifying terror flick featuring a somewhat sympathetic killer. The only thing to be decided now, not that it isn't already decided, is who Trump's running mate will be. What you hear today on this show is firm, and it's indisputable. And I'll get to that in just a minute. Now, I just want to mention that I've been pleasantly surprised, I really have, at how few friends on Facebook and how few followers on Twitter that I've lost, even after the anti-Bernie Sanders shows that I've done over the past month or so. I really expected more negative feedback over my opinion about the primary race, Hillary versus Bernie. So I'm taking this development. I've decided to take this development as a sign that most everyone agrees with me. Of course they do. And not only have I not lost friends on Facebook, and I have not lost followers on Twitter after my anti-Bernie Sanders shows that I've done, but something even more astounding has happened. Well, it's been happening. It continues to happen every day. You won't believe this, even after I tell you. You're not going to believe this. It's happening on Facebook as well as on Twitter, both places. But I'm getting more friend requests on Facebook and more followers on Twitter from Bernie Sanders supporters. That's right. More Berniacs are friending me and following the show on Twitter. More Berniacs are friending me or sending me friend requests on Facebook and following the show on Twitter. I'm not kidding. It's insane, isn't it? I mean, it's absolutely insane. I've done several anti-Bernie shows, as you know, recently. And if you've seen the news feed, my news feed on either Facebook or on Twitter, it's the same thing. You know, I post every bit of accurate information about Bernie Sanders that I can possibly get my hands on. Everything that's not great, that I've learned by investigating Bernie Sanders, I try to share with everybody who follows me and everybody who friends me on Facebook. Everything I can get my hands on. You also know that I post every positive thing. If you've seen the feed, you follow the feed, you know, if you listen to the show, you know that I find everything positive I can about the next president of the United States of America, Hillary Clinton. And if you read my news feed, you listen to the show, I don't believe I've left any room for doubt on how I feel about the burn. I believe Bernie is a fraud, a carpetbagger, and a snake oil salesman. I think you have to believe, if you're talking about Bernie Sanders, you have to believe he's still a Marxist revolutionary like he has been for how many decades now? He wants to change the means of production. Just look it up. Look up what that entails, okay? That's all you have to do. Google it. The means of production. And I hope Bernie finally gets his long-desired meeting with Fidel Castro after he finally drops out of the presidential race, which I also hope is soon. Despite my outpouring of non-affection for Bernie Sanders, I'm getting dozens of friend requests and dozens of followers on Twitter of Bernie Sanders people each and every day. I'm not kidding. And if the trend is doing anything, it's going exponential. I'm getting more and more of them. That, after criticizing the bejesus out of Bernie Sanders accurately, I might add. Now, what can be learned from all of this that I just described? What can we learn from this? It's what I've suspected all along, I think. Berniacs do not read, and Berniacs do not listen. They don't read, they don't listen. I just don't believe there's any evidence that they do. Reasoning skills are lacking. It's either a cult or some form of dementia supporting Bernie Sanders. I just wanted to talk about that real quick because it's astounding. It really is strange stuff. Man, imagine if I were pro-Bernie, right? I could get these lemmings to jump off a cliff if I wanted. Speaking of lemmings off a cliff, there is Donald Trump and his supporters, and for that matter, the remainder of primary voters in the Republican Party.
I'm greater than anybody else.
Yes, I'm going to get to that.
Yes, go ahead.
It does appear that the next GOP presidential candidate for the Republican Party will be Donald Trump. So what about the others, right? You wonder what about the others? What about all of the others running in the primary race?
I'm a job machine.
Aren't any of the others in the primary race good enough to be Donald Trump's running mate?
I'm a job machine.
Don't any of the other candidates? Wait a minute, what?
I'm a job machine.
All right. This is enough. I don't have the energy to keep changing the subject like Donald Trump is always constantly changing the subject. I just don't.
You look at Marco Rubio.
Man.
Very, very weak on illegal immigration.
Very rude.
Marco is a sitting senator, and he doesn't show up for the people of Florida.
Oh.
I mean, he is a disaster with his credit card.
Disaster.
Well, he has a very bad record of finances. If you look at what happened with his houses, with his,
Man.
He certainly lives above his means. There's no question about that.
Oh.
And I don't think he should be doing that. Now,
No.
I mean, Ben wants to get rid of Medicare. You can't get rid of Medicare.
No.
It'd be a horrible thing to get rid of.
Horrible.
It actually works. You get rid of the fraud, waste, and abuse.
Horrible.
It works. So when a man is weak on immigration and wants to get rid of Medicare, I don't know how he stays there.
Ben's out.
My Jeb impression? No, I don't want to do that. I don't like showing a person sleeping at a podium.
Ooh.
Tom is asking, can Jeb make a comeback? I think it's going to be very hard.
No.
We need tremendous energy because we need a person that has tremendous personal energy
Yeah.
to get us back on track. You can't do that when you don't have that.
Right.
I think Marco is highly overrated. Highly overrated. He doesn't have it.
Overrated.
And all you have to do is look at his stance on things. Jeb, he lacks the quality that you need. You need a very strong person with tremendous
Jeb
energy.
doesn't get VP.
Thank you very much, folks. I'll take the job.
Oh.
But
Right.
and it's so important. And by the way, Ben Carson does not have that energy. We need somebody with tremendous energy to straighten out the military, to straighten out ISIS, to straighten out our horrible trade deals,
Yeah.
to terminate Obamacare and come up with
Wait a
something
minute,
far
whoa.
better for far less money.
Whoa.
You need somebody with tremendous personal energy as president.
Wait.
We have a president right now that doesn't have energy.
Oh, shut
I mean, you
up.
think Obama has energy? He has no energy.
Shut up.
We need somebody with great personal energy as a leader so that we can make great deals with other countries
Man.
and do well in every other respect. And certainly Jeb does not have that energy, in my opinion.
So the Republican presidential nominee will be Donald J. Trump. It's a done deal. That's it. But who will be Donald Trump's running mate? That's the only question left in the Republican primary contest. And Donald Trump has already told us how he'll choose his running mate. We just weren't listening. He told us how he was going to choose all of his people in his cabinet. Quote, "The people I'm talking about are not nice people. They're vicious. They're horrible, miserable human beings. I want horrible. Give me horrible." So who will that be? Who will it be? Who's horrible enough for Donald Trump? We've analyzed this, but I can only narrow it down to a Republican.
Dessalene Victor had to stand in line for hours to vote. She is 102 years old. Across our nation, too many voters face similar barriers to the ballot, like 8-hour lines, mistakenly being turned away, false accusations of not being citizens. On Election Day, we are all equal, young or old, rich or poor, no matter what race. That's what makes America great. Join us. Fight for a fundamental right to vote in free, fair, and accessible elections.
When you see that you've got CEOs making 300 times what the average worker's making, the deck is stacked in favor of those at the top. I want it to be back where it was when I came of age, where my mom, who never got to go to college, could see her daughter go to law school. We need to have people believing that their work will be rewarded. So I'm going to do everything I can to try to get that deck reshuffled so being middle class means something again. I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
can't really analyze the field. I should say what remains of the field in the GOP, because Jebbia and his slogan have taken another huge dump in the polls. Jebbia is now, by the way, at 4%, down 6 points in this last poll. He's got a new shitty slogan that didn't work. Jeb can fix it. Chris Christie is about to be appropriately sent to the kids' table debate. It's about time for that. You could make a case for Marco Rubio. The problem is that Marco Rubio can't make a case for Marco Rubio, and that'll doom him sooner or later. Marco is the last of the establishment candidates with a chance. The others are toast. Ben Carson has issues. These issues are becoming more prominent by the day, and there will be a critical mass reaction that diminishes his chances and blows his current numbers. I contend that Ben Carson may do something very insane, and he may do it very publicly. Very publicly, yes. We already know he will say anything, which leads to the belief he has many, many issues and just might do anything. After those numbers go by the wayside for Ben Carson, the beneficiary is the same person who has been leading all along. There is no establishment candidate. There is no other candidate in the race who can match the Donald's numbers, charisma, and television presence. Trump already leads in primary states down the road by huge numbers, especially in the South. He's been number one all along, and he's placed nicely for when the voting actually begins. Okay, so I have no idea who Donald Trump's running mate will be. It doesn't matter, does it? You have to believe the Democratic Party's best shot at winning the presidency is against Donald Trump. Hillary will win all but a couple of states, if not all of them. We'll get the House and the Senate back. The Republican Party will be decimated. Donald Trump is a gift. Of course, if by some default, by human beings in America, Trump wins, then he could get us all killed. We're on YouTube now, Kerry Fox Live on YouTube. We go face-to-face against the scoundrels who would rule and ruin the United States of America. Check us out on YouTube. Do it right now. And subscribe. All KFL episodes are available at our home on the internet, kerryfoxlive.com. That's kerryfoxlive.com. All the shows are absolutely free. There's no deal like it anywhere on the World Wide Web. kerryfoxlive.com. Like our page on Facebook and follow the show on Twitter at Kerry Fox Live. Once again, thank you for listening to me spew as I do. Until next time, this is Kerry Fox saying,
See ya.
Because of equal time rules for television, Mr. Trump can only speak for 4 seconds in this promo.
So let me just say this. Ben Carson is a complete and total loser.
This week, presidential candidate Donald Trump will be hosting Saturday Night Live, and I'm not supposed to say this, but he said I could be his running mate.
Cecily, did you hear? I'm Trump's VP.
I'm just shopping around.
Oh, mommy.
Oh. Let's say China. 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 You go over to China. 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 You take China. 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 I love them. China. 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 I have to have my China. China. China because China. 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 China now. China. China. You know, China. I know China very well. China. 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 China.
Northwest Wisconsin, where I'm from.
It's China to me. China. China, 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 China. You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China. Buy toys from China. China in particular. China. China. I have people that I know in China. 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 China, 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 China. I've been saying China, 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 China. China, 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 China.
Let me ask you about China.
China. I go to China. China, 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 China. People from China, they love me.
Right.
China, 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 China. In China, they say I don't like China. I love China. People think I don't like China. I love China. China. China is the new China, by the way. China. 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 I deal with China. 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 Big league. China. So don't tell me about China. I know China. 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 Whether it's China, China.
So if you went to China and you wanted to get a job in China,
I don't knock China. How could I dislike China? The man from China. China. You have China. Carl, take China. 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 China, 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 China. China's over here. Look at what China's doing. They're learning from China. China, China. Okay?
look at that. Isn't that nice? China, China, China,
China. China, 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 China. And by the way, I love China. I mean, I love China. How can you not love China? I love China. China, China. China, 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 China. And you know China, 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 South China, China, China. People say, oh, you don't like China. I like China. China. I love China. China. China all the time. China. When was the last time you heard China?